Should now be live. Sending messages out on social media. We've gone live. And I'll just do a quick check to make sure the stream is actually live. We've gone live. It looks like me. And I'll just do a quick check to make sure the stream is actually live. Let's make sure the audio is actually working. We've gone live. It looks like me. Can't hear anything, but that might actually be. Make sure the stream is actually my Windows settings. The audio is actually working. It looks like me. Can't hear anything, but that might actually be. My Windows. Yep. Okay, so we are indeed working. Right. Cool. Okay. So obviously I'm exporting lighting data at the moment. When you do a build, it likes to complain about all the tiles. But yes, welcome to the stream. Whilst it's building lighting data, I mean I can still do stuff whilst it's doing this, but what I'll be looking at today is as well as continuing what we were doing before. There's actually a couple of major changes I need to make to the layout of the level. I'm also going to be looking at possibly the AI and how it goes into and out of other colonies on the surface. How you go into and out of other nests from the surface. Also looking at the I might be looking at the underground demo as well, because we're looking at making an update for that soon, hopefully. And that needs some rebalancing, because the way the ants movement is handled has changed, which actually impacts underground a lot, and I'll explain that when we get there. But to start with, I'm just going to do some updating of the surface. Right, I mean, from last time we had the ants weren't actually doing anything last time. However, now the movement should have been fixed on the surface. I've also created a lot of stuff going on underground. But yeah, the movement. Oh, yeah, I'll sort that out. There's a few alerts that are being used, but yeah, the ants are now walking around on the surface, but obviously they came out of the wrong place then. So that'll be how the AI is handling it and how it moves from one to the other. Need to find out where that overground alert message is coming from and turn it off, because it's not useful. Not to me, at least. Oh, it's. I'll have a quick look through the. I suspect it's in the movement code. Anyway, whilst it's doing that, I'll get back to this. Right. Or not, because apparently it's encoding textures. I maybe shouldn't have started it building so soon. Okay, looks like it's found the overground alert. It's there. Creature path following component. Okay, I'm just going to check this out from the source control and turn off that message. Anyway, a lot of work's been done on the way ants are moving at the moment. So they should be a lot better and deal with the movement a lot better. What file's this? Where is it? It's an AI creature path following component. Yeah. There's been a lot of debugging going on in this function. Okay, there we go. If I just comment that out, we should be good. It shouldn't take too long to compile. Okay. So, what's going on then? Okay, fundamentally on this level, the overall level design is actually meant to be a resource gathering style mission, and the water's meant to rise in height as the level goes on. So the player actually needs to be able to get to the bottom area quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this jut out a bit here and actually put the player's colony further over here. So let's get on with that. And get rid of these tiger beetles that were just shoved in there. Well, it looks like the C++ code's about to compile. Should possibly wait actually until that's done. I'm looking forward to when we update to the next version of the engine. We don't want to do it at the moment because we need to release a build. New engine versions can introduce bugs, so we don't want to risk it. However, they've had a couple of updates. One of them I think significantly decreases the compile time, which should be nice. Just wait for it to do. Restructuring the surface will mean we've got to repaint all the tiles, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to focus on the gameplay side of it. I'm not actually the artist on the project, so I should perhaps leave it to the artist Matt to take a look at it. As I imagine that he'll make a lot of changes. I'm not happy with these patches here. They just look weird. Oop. I think, yep, compile complete. Okay, we're good. Right, now let's remove the beach tiger beetles. Let's get rid of the devil's coach horse adult that's there as well. Okay, doing some map editing. So In order to make the map jut out, I'm going to need to shift this ramp here. You get out of the way. And then we're going to need to select quite a few of these. Now, yeah, it's sort of this area. Okay, so yeah, this needs to go up to 4. And we need to fix all the errors that this introduces. That's just lighting errors there. We'll get to that in a bit. Okay, it looked beautiful when I started, and now I'm wrecking everything. Such is the nature of game dev. It's like tidying a room. The room looks messier before it starts to look better. Right. I want the player colony to be somewhere probably about here. You know what, I need to make the landscape invisible so I don't keep selecting it. Additionally, I can do the same with the water here. Well, that's the sky sphere. That's a post-process volume. Maybe I should do that as well. Just get rid of all this stuff. Doesn't seem to be selectable. No, never mind. Right, a bit further forward. What have I got selected that isn't... Oh, we're good. We're good. We are good. Didn't select all of those. That'll do. Right. Now I'm going to take a look at it. Not artist. Yeah, well, sort of. I'm going to go around and bring up... Obviously, bringing up one level means the rest need to be brought up as well. I was talking to Matt about this the other day, and he's going to make, like... You'd be able to go, like, 2 up on them. However, he's only going to do it when we need it, because the amount of combinations that could cause is ridiculous. So, as we need them. Yeah. That's good. Dramatic changes. I'm doing this now because we do intend to use this level in the released game. And as soon as Matt takes his artistic pass on it, it's going to be a lot harder to change the different heights of things. Because there'll be grass, you know, other objects to think about. Grass and all sorts. At this point, it's relatively easy to just change the heights of things because not that much work's gone into it. This is going to produce an interesting interaction here as well that we haven't really tested yet, which is going to be what happens when an ant sees another ant or a creature down a ledge, but the way round to them is a long way round. And of course, we could do a quick path to the creature and realize that it's a long path, and then say no, it's too far to walk. Ant's not going to bother. Alternatively, maybe we can add into the sight check the ability to line of sight. So maybe you only attack something you can actually see. So if it's down a cliff or something, you won't go and attack it. Because at the moment it just uses a radius check. It's important to let it do its auto-saving, because I'll forget and I'll lose huge chunks of work. Be great one day if we can give modders some tools. I would love to do that. See what other people come up with in our game. Because other games have done it with Unreal Engine. Because you kind of produce a special version of the engine, which is your game editor. And people will be able to put maps together. However, it's not a small task for us to do that. For us to set a version of the engine up that we'd be happy sharing. Just trying to make the shapes look a bit more natural because they're a bit straight at the moment. Need to set ramps up in these areas as well to allow the players to get down. Player to get down. Hello, Vandor. Good to have you with us. As I make dramatic changes to the surface level, destroying my good work from the other day. So another problem we've got as well is inaccessible areas. And I haven't actually figured out what will happen. I need to test it and then make some changes, I think. Because like areas like up here, if the player puts down a flag up here for the ants to go to, there's no way of the ants getting there. So what I suspect will happen is the ants will try and path to it and just kind of get stuck at this wall. So I don't actually know what the best method is. Maybe they should path near it to it as they can and just hang around that area. Let's dull this in a bit. Again, some quite cool shapes here. Give this a bit more room in this passage here. 3? No, it's 2. Well, there's an inaccessible area. I quite like it though. Yeah, I'll do something similar somewhere else where there's more space. King of the castle. Right. Let's shift this. Where do I intend it? I intend to have it. Probably about there. Now here we encounter another problem. Is that the this surface exit has been designed with kind of one directional exit. What I think we'll want in the end is like this one pointing this way, this one pointing this way, and this one pointing this way or something, so there's multi-directions the ants can come out from. But it's fine for now. This should be what the ants are using to to make their way to the surface. You know what? I think I know what the issue was with the ants walking out of that side of the tunnel. I bet the nav mesh hasn't built inside the tunnel. Come to it in a bit. I guess. Yep. I don't think there's much point me bothering rebuilding the lighting just yet. Create a surface there that I can make a ramp. cool. That's good. That is good. Only I need to get rid of the random perturbation on the area that the ramp's in. There. All right. Looks about right, doesn't it? Guess that'll do. Obviously, we need to change the texture of the stuff down here. This is quite a dramatic change. All of that, because I did turn off the random perturbation. You can actually have it back. Yeah, have your random perturbation back. Right, how are we doing? Right, I'm just going to save it because I turned random perturbation off on quite a few tiles on the surface. However, I don't no longer think we want it off. On anything. Well, we will want it off on some things, but we need to select it as we encounter it, because all the ramps are going to get repositioned now. All the surface tunnels are going to get repositioned, etc. Okay, so I've saved it because I'm about to select a lot of objects. Okay, so random perturbation's been turned on for everything. Now I need to turn it off for these. Oops. Need to turn it off for the areas the ramps connect to. Yeah, it's good. Right. So yeah, I'm gonna need to reposition quite a few of the ramps. I also need to have a look at the nav mesh. And make sure it's going into the tunnel exit on the surface. Blah 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 blah. That's right. Cool. Okay. Again, turn the random perturbations off. Shove it back in. That looks right, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I'm trying to give the ramps a bit of space either side as well, because I don't want larger creatures getting stuck in these weird shapes. I should probably build the lighting again soon. Oh, it's pointless. I'll do it in a bit. I'm wondering where the enemy colony should be. I think it's actually alright where it is, you know. I should probably add a ramp roughly here. No, there's one there. That ramp's fine. Seeing as this one's fine, let me just turn off. Let me just turn off the random perturbations of the tiles. That looks fine. Cool. Yeah, it needs another ramp here. That ramp's alright as well, actually. So hang on. Let me deal with this one. What am I doing? That looks fine. Suppose I can move it slightly left. Just get rid of that. That doesn't look right either. What's happened here? Oh, it's just the random perturbations. No, it's fine. It will be fine. Is that right? Not over the moon at how that's connecting, or not connecting as it actually seems to be. That's connected. If that connected, is that causing me problems? They won't. The ones behind the others won't be randomly perturbated. Well, I'll make sure they're not. That should be fine. I'll check it again when we rebuild the lighting, because the lighting on this map's gonna go so funny. Well, it's going really strange as we edit it. Whew. Yeah, I do want a ramp here. So yeah, let's do that. I think we're good. Okay, again, I need to turn off the random perturbations of the nearby. Damn it. Looks good. Right, so I think these tiles, these are fine. I just need to turn the random perturbations back off. Yeah, like I said, I don't want really tight crevices. So let's just knock that down a bit. Okay, doing a save. Doing a save. Okay. How are we doing? I think that's a bit. Just get rid of that. That's fine. Okay. So. Let's have a quick check over this ramp. I don't think I've dealt with the random perturbations yet. And again, don't want the gaps to be too tight. Okay, so from the top, there's this side ramp here and this major ramp here. So the computer's access to the player is via these two ramps here and around there. The player's access to the computer is the same direction, really. Something we've got to consider is as the player places points, if they're collecting anything from up here, they'll go this way around. If they're trying to collect stuff down here, they're going to go that way around as well. Is that alright? It's probably okay. I guess we'll, if we actually run the level and it's causing problems, we'll revisit it then. Okay. So let's get this surface tunnel functioning again. Right. That's probably all right. Probably, maybe. If we have a look in the tunnel, what have we got? They're not massively interesting, these tunnels. But no, it looks alright. Right, I need to get rid of the random perturbation again on the edge of this, so shift that out of the way whilst I do it. Let's make this a bit more uniform, shall we? Aha, I see what's happened. Yep. There we go. Gonna have to get another coffee in a minute. Right. I don't think I need to move this one, but I do need to redo the random perturbations on the. By redo, I mean click the button. That's right. That looks right to me. Right, looks okay, doesn't it? Definitely looks okay. What's that? Anyway. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Just gonna get a hot drink. I'll let the chair develop for a bit. I expect a lot of work to have happened when I get back. Right, welcome back. Me. Okay, how are we doing? Right, I'm gonna play a bit with the tiles up here, because basically there's a lot of space up here. So I can make things look a bit more interesting. Any other areas that have got a lot of space in them? Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of space just to do something slightly more interesting. Oh. Right. Oh, there's a big area here as well, although that's the kind of computer's main area. Oops. I guess I can do a mini feature around here. Just something a bit interesting. Doesn't really have to be anything. Right, how are we doing? I'm not really a big fan of the way this map's currently set. Well, all that's fine, but I reckon water should be down here as well. So maybe what I should be doing down here is bringing everything to level 0. If I do that, right the way along here, I can get rid of all of that. Yeah, and this whole area needs to step down. So there needs to be... Let's get rid of that. So this needs to be level 1, I guess. Iron Fist's out tomorrow, isn't it? Are we good? I think we're good. That's quite cool. Okay, another save. I think we're doing really quite well today. This map's really taking shape now. Next, I'll be looking at the AI on the surface. See if we can get the... Okay. Right. I'm happy to build the lighting now. So I think we've changed a lot. I don't think I'm gonna need to change much more. There's actually quite a lot of lighting data to do these days. Such a large surface. It's quite a wait for the lighting data to build. Okay, so let's think about what we're going to do next. And whilst that's doing, I can have a quick look at the nav mesh. So this is what the creatures and everything uses to navigate around the map. Yeah, and as you see, at the moment it's not actually even going into the tunnel. So they're not going to be able to walk in this area at the moment. That's basically a guide for ant spawning. They try and spawn near that. Turn grid off. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make 3 of these so the ants have kind of a wider spawn area, and then I'm going to make it so it gives them they spawn at a random one of these within a certain radius. So if I duplicate that, and this will just make them more likely to go out of multiple different holes rather than the same one. Right, so this is the surface tunnel. Actually, I need to check it out, the source control, sorry. Right, so I need to check out surface tunnel. Nearly there. Right, whilst it's doing that, I can be changing this surface tunnel. Okay, so currently the surface tunnel has this, it's got a whole radius on it and a whole spawn point, which is that single point. What I actually want to turn this into is a T array. Of pointers. Okay, it looks like our lighting data's finished finally. So yeah, that looks a lot better. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to compile from C++. If I build it whilst the engine's running, the engine automatically hot reloads it. It's an awful lot of waiting in development. I've looked at harvestable resources as well. A harvestable resource is something like the big fish, and what it is, it's a resource that's there for a long time and holds a lot of resources. It's not happy with me about something. Oh, sorry. So yeah, you'll be able to send a certain amount of ants to it. You'll have a limited amount of resources you can harvest from it. I should have a look at what... Yeah, it's fine now. Okay, so this now has an array of them on it. I should probably rename these. Okay. I need to give it a hull radius as well. Hull radius is essentially the distance from the spawn point that it will be looking to move ants to the surface. Taking absolutely ages to save this map now. Because it's big, I guess. Okay, so hull radius. A tile has a radius of 100, so probably about the size of 2 tiles, and that'll be from each spawn point. Oh, I didn't need to save that. That wasn't enough work to bother with the save. I want to actually check how the AI deals with that next. Let's get the AI right on it, and then I'll look into getting the nav mesh right. I have no idea what's wrong with the nav mesh. However, it's something I've changed multiple times and it keeps changing the value back. So it worries me a bit. Okay, so if I go into the AI for all the creatures in the game, so when it's carrying food, it'd be follow trail, I think. Follow trail. Looking for something called transfer to surface. There. Okay, so what does transfer to surface do? Yep. It's because whole spawn point is now an array. Get array average location. That's an interesting one. I'll find the average location between an array of actors. Let's remember that's there. I might need it at some point. Anyway, it's gonna get a random integer between 0 and the length of the array. It's going to get the one that's at that point in the array. And that should be that. Okay, so that should work for transferring them to the surface. The issue here now is going to be the nav mesh. So if we take another look at it, see, it's the nav mesh isn't actually going into it. So if I have a look at the nav mesh bounds volume, yeah, it's these values that's the issue: the agent height and the max agent height. And it's also in the project settings. Because basically the agent height there, that hole isn't high enough for an agent of 144 to go through. A tile's height is 100 again, so I'm probably looking about half a tile's height. So I change that to 50. Something we've got to be aware of as well, and it's something we're going to have to build into the nav meshes, is the... There we go. That looks promising. It's not quite right though, is it? So we've got a break in the nav mesh there. It's better though. That hole's sorted. That hole is sorted. So it's literally just this one we got an issue with now. Have I changed that to 40? Then it'll have to rebuild the whole nav mesh again. It's quite therapeutic watching the nav mesh build, but it also takes a long time. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Right. So now we should actually have the ants walking happily onto the surface and coming from inside the tunnel. Okay, I've given them a radius of 200. However, I don't want them appearing on top of the tunnel, which they might do with a radius of 200, so I might have to shrink that. Let's wait, I'll let the navigation rebuild properly. Then we'll run a quick test. Okay. Actually need to change the player's camera starting location, because the minimap doesn't work at the minute properly on the surface. Yeah, it's easy to get lost up here, considering how massive the thing is. Let's see how this does. Yeah. I think one of them came out of the hole, but I'm going to have to reduce that radius quite dramatically, I think. Probably to about 80, 70. Let's try 80. Ugh, every tiny change I make, it rebuilds. I really need to sort that out. Okay, come on, ants. I believe in you. Come out of the tunnel, not on top of it. Yeah. Okay. We've got ants coming out of the tunnel now. I'm going to reset the player's start location, because they've got a surface pawn somewhere. Yeah. It's there. It's this that decides where the player's camera is. Reset it back to there. And then I've actually got to make the ants go back into the tunnel. So I'm going to activate a few cheats whilst they do this, just to allow me to really quickly set up a colony. So I activate the cheats from this object. Okay, so let's auto spawn eggs, instant mature eggs, infinite resources, instant build. didn't need to save it. I keep saving it unnecessarily. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Yeah, some of them are still managing to get onto the surface. Yeah, no, I haven't done the code for them going back in, but yeah, there needs to be. Right. Errors. Need to check that one. This set current target location. Let's have a quick look. Attempted to access missing property. If this package, if this is a package / cooked build, are you attempting to use in editor only property from function target near my overground exit. Set current. Well, this is obviously the function that we changed. Attempt to access missing property. Target near my overground exit. Ah, this is actually a function that, yeah. This is a function that hasn't been updated yet. This should be pretty simple though. Yeah. Okay. So to fix this, I need to get. I can copy it from here. It's exactly the same. See, what it was complaining about was a bit weird, but I think this is just because this function hasn't been updated yet. So we'll see. That should do it. Although I need to change the radius. That it's working with. It needs to be something quite small. apparently 80 is too big, so what about 50? To be fair, I can put lots of points in. I'll put a lot more in. Again, I'm saving it. There's no need to save it. Maybe there was. Okay. Let's see if we get errors this time. Okay. Couple coming out of different holes this time. Yeah. The flow's a bit bitty, isn't it? I need to check the algorithm for it. As in, there doesn't appear to be a constant trail of ants backwards and forwards. There's just... With that being so close to the edge, I wonder if any of them will get points that they have to walk all the way... Oh! You see that? Whoa! That shouldn't be happening. Okay, we've got an obvious issue here. I need to speak to Matt about that. I mean, the nav mesh... It's not perfect, is it? I wonder if... Oh, of course. Yeah, I know why it's happening. Yeah. I know who to speak to, and it's not Matt, it's Liam. What this is to do with, and I'll explain it to you now, is the ants have a... the ants actually have a... something that they do when they're... walking around if they bump into each other. And one of the things they attempt to do is just walk in a direction to get around each other. Obviously that's fine if there's a wall going up vertically. Also they wiggle as they walk. So underground it didn't make any difference because they walk into a wall, but here they can actually walk off a ledge with it. In fact, it's very common. Right. That's what I need fixing. Movement's not really my area. Either way, the surface is definitely working. They've got such a long way to walk when they fall off. So I'll put the flag like right on the edge. So if I put that there, they're gonna navigate round to it. If I put it right on the edge, Yeah, we've got an issue here. This is with the tiles being randomly perturbated. Okay, I need to write these issues down. Report them to the others. Okay. Time to make a new document. Surface issues. Actually, I've got a document of things that needed doing before EGX Rezzed. So let's I think this random perturbation issue, you can see the nav mesh is already going underneath it, but that's a pretty extreme perturbation, right? So to be honest, with the surface tiles, the random perturbations probably need to be turned quite a lot down. It's fine underground, because they can't actually walk on the top of the tiles, but on the surface. Yeah, it needs to be addressed. Either way. Got it basically working, and we haven't got any errors this time, so I'm happy. Right, so what's next on the agenda? Okay, so we've got them working with surface tunnels. I mean, coming out of surface tunnels. What about going into surface tunnels? So being able to attack the enemy colony. Now, when I right click on this, it places it in a weird place, but yeah, the idea is that it actually selects it as an object. I'm gonna need to get Matt to look into that actually. Right. So when I click on a enemy tunnel, I believe I'll just check. But I believe the surface tunnel actually gets linked with the should be target actor. It's meant to be. It's obviously not. I believe this happens in the level blueprint as well. So yeah, it happens. So there, if it's a surface tunnel, links it to the location, spawns the actor. So it's only on this case. So what I want is probably... Oh, hit actor. So here at the end, set, what's it called? It's call to arms. It's called target actor. So set the target actor to the hit actor. So that, I mean, it will store things like tile references as well, if it hits a tile reference. However, it'll also store the surface tunnel, which will allow me to tell the ants to go into it. I do actually need to look at the creature eye. It's actually an extra step of the follow the trail, right? So if they're following a trail and the trail's linked to a surface tunnel exit, then they need to behave in a very specific way. Let's make sure it's actually set up on the level. So yeah, colony ID. Right, we haven't got any holes. I mean, locational holes, so let's add a few in. What was it? I said it's who on the other one? Radius of 50. Let me rename these. This is player 1. Hole radius was 50 in the end. It's got 3 holes. Check the time. Right, I think after I've done this, I'm going to call it a day for the stream. That's what the things I need to be getting on with today. But no, after I've got our colony going into the enemy's colony. I'm actually quite close. Okay, so what's the plan here? We need to actually work out where it goes in the AI. It's not actually an easy task. So it's follow trail subtree. So this is the ant's brain as it's following the trail. So these are trail states. 0 is waiting in your colony. 1 is on your way to the enemy. on your way to the flag. 2 is hanging around at the flag, and 3 is returning from the flag. Now this code needs to go in 2 places. It needs to be when you're heading to the flag. It needs to be when you're heading to the flag and you're on the surface. I should write this down so I remember what I'm doing as I'm going. Look. So we're talking heading to call to arms needs to be injected in there, and also so that's trail state 1. So that's heading to call to arms whilst on the surface. And then the final one is they will change into trail state 2 when they get into the enemy colony. So this is hanging at call to arms. So that's 2 whilst underground. Okay, so and what's going to happen is in situation where you're heading to the call to arms flag and you're on the surface, you'll be heading in, rather than heading to the flag, you're actually heading to their underground point. Then it'll transfer underground and set your trail status to 2. When your trail status is 2 and you're underground, it will be heading towards the enemy colony's queen. Unless the queen's dead, in which case it will head back to the surface. So there's an extra thing we need to check for there, which is if the enemy queen's dead. Okay, let's get to it. So we said trail state 1, right? So that's 0 there, and that's 2 there. So I don't need to inject into that yet, but I will do. So trail state 1 and trail state 3. So am I on surface? True. Is call to arms on surface? True. So both of these will be true in our situation. So it's in here. So we need to branch off a bit more. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna duplicate this. Sorry, wrong thing. It's call to arms on surface because this will be a good starting point. So is C2A targeting exit, targeting tunnel, targeting surface tunnel. Okay, so this is going to be our check. Here it is. Okay, so perform condition check AI, cast a colony creature, trail call to arms, that's correct. Call to arms. So if it's valid, you know what, I can actually improve this. Actually, no, I checked this, and that you have to do them completely separately, else it gets angry at you. Okay, so it's nothing to do with colony location anymore. get target actor. Cast a surface tunnel exit. Okay, so this check here is now going to be this. So if we're looking at a surface tunnel exit, so if the cast succeeds, return true. If the cast fails, return false. Okay, so that should be that done. Okay, so we go into this mode. So this is going to be so is C2A targeting the surface tunnel? This, if that's true. And also want that to go onto here. Inverse condition. Okay. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere with this now. Okay, so is call to arms targeting surface tunnel? If that's true, we instead want to... And where's the point where we go back into our own tunnel? Transfer to surface. There'll be something called transfer to my underground. There we are. Target near my overground exit. Yeah, this is the thing we set up earlier. So that's target near my overground exit. What we need is target near call to arms overground exit. Whew. So I need to duplicate this really. It's going to be exactly the same, only it's looking at a different exit. Okay. So this is getting... So I need... Yeah, so I need to cast this to a colony creature actually. Not to a creature. Because colony creatures have these call to arms is... Trail. Call to arms. There we are. I'm going to give myself a bit more room to work with. Okay, so we got the trail call to arms, we've got the target actor. We're going to cast this to surface tunnel exit. So, assuming these casts succeed, actually, if that cast succeeds, we can just plug it straight into there. And straight into there. Don't need any of this, bypass all of that stuff. So this is the failure. So if it's not a colony creature, we shouldn't be here in the code, and if it's not looking at a surface tunnel exit, we shouldn't be here. So we fail. Else we do what we did before. Get ourselves a target location. It's not happy about. Sorry. Okay, we're good. Okay, so that's target near call to arms. Yeah, okay. So I need to put that into the... It's this, essentially, we want to do, just a bit different. So we're looking at an enemy now. So... instant check for nearby, that's fine. Target near my overdue exit, no, we've just rewrote that. We want to target near call to arms overground exit. Move to creature location target, that's fine. Right. We need... transfer to my underground. Transfer to enemy underground. So that's not right. So if I duplicate this, we'll do a transfer. Transfer to C2A underground. Okay. So what that should do is then move into the enemy's base. Well, I need to actually code it. But yeah, right. So what this is doing is getting its... I think I want to copy that, because that gets the... So to my underground, I can go away now. Okay. Because that gets the... yeah. Surface tunnel. Okay, so we do want a failure condition here, just in case that something weird's happened. Okay, so yeah, we will do this. However, this needs to come from the surface tunnel. Okay, so now it's getting the target. I think this is it. Underground tunnel. I think that's that. I think now we'll be moving into the enemy colony. However, we won't know what the game will get confused when we get there. But let's see if we actually get there. Experiment 1. Economy's over here. Really need to sort the mini-map out. Also, the key movement seems to have been slowed down. Anyway. Let's see what happens. Oh, I haven't. Idiot. It's actually a really long way around. Everyone chill out for a moment. It's a really long way around. Look, it's running a test. Apparently. I'd say that was a failure. Looks like I've actually coded that moment before. Transfer to my underground. Okay, that's not right. But again... Wait. First, that's wrong. Don't want to transfer to my underground. So that didn't seem to come out right. However, I should make sure that the... Yeah. Does actually look like... Yeah, we're definitely not getting the right target location. And I should totally check whether it's whether it's actually in the right branch. So yeah, that's the next step for me. Making sure it's in the right area of the behavior tree. Quick bugger. Yeah, it's in the wrong area of the behavior tree. Is call to arms targeting surface tunnel is not working. However, what we do know is working is call to arms linked to surface exit. Which appears to be exactly the same as the other function we made, only I must have made a mistake in it. So we'll just use the one that we know works. Right, so this one I know doesn't work. I'm not sure why, but there's absolutely no point in worrying about it. Let me just get rid of it from the behavior tree. Sorry, not that. So it's this. May as well plunk it in. Trim that out. Anyone's got any questions, fire away. Happy to chat about the game. Need to sort out the camera as well. Anyway, let's get my ants over here. Come on, ants. Yeah, the minimap looks messed up, but it does that sometimes. Ah. Well, at least we know they're in the right area of the behavior tree now. But it doesn't look like they're managing to get a target location. It's doing something mad in here. Right. It's failing to cast it. Obviously it's working here. Linked actor. Oh, it's not. That's why the other one wasn't working. It's something on it called linked actor. Not Okay. What target actor is then? Well, I should probably remove this, which I put in earlier. Okay. Now. Now it'll work. I should set up a test that's quicker to do than this. Come on. Let's get into the enemy base. Oh, they're moving. They're moving. Let's check they're in the right place in the behavior tree. They're so fiddly to click on. There we are. Yeah, it's in the right place. Come on. Yeah. No. Damn it. Oh, it's because I used the same blooming thing again. I've used it 3 times, the wrong It's okay, we'll get it right this time. So the colony idea is being taken from the wrong thing again. It's linked actor. There's also a small chance that this level isn't set up properly. So I'm going to check that the underground tunnel's been applied to the enemy tile grid. This is player 1 here. This is the enemy. Underground tunnel exit. That looks right. Okay. Let me just check the enemy's spawn point as well. Underground tile grid, from where to Queen. Surface location. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we need to set up there. Cool. Okay, I'll just save the level at this point. And now we should have it. really needs a quicker test. Remember you didn't mess up. You learned what happened that way. That way then the right way. Yeah. This isn't a mess up. This is an educational experience. Come on. This looks good. I think it's a step closer. Oh no, it's working. It is working. It's totally working. Because what's happening here? Okay, obviously there's a problem with the surface tunnel, and they're spawning at the wrong place. But they're finding themselves underground and going, oh, my call to arms is actually and then they're going straight back to the surface. But yeah, it's working. They are arriving in the enemy nest for about a second and then going back to the surface. Right, I'm gonna... Hang on, before I do anything else, let's open the enemy exit. So it is actually open. Teach them ants. They will learn what to do. So what I need now is for when they go underground, I need to change their trail state to 2. Yeah. So it's that I need to do basically. Oh, damn it! Some Christmas music's come on my blimmin'. It's not Christmas. Looks like meat's back on the menu, girls. The game, do you have to worry about flooding and tunnel collapsing? I don't. We've got no tunnel collapsing worry, but this level's actually because it's set on a beach. The final version of this level's going to have the water level rising actually. So yeah, there will be flooding in this level. Although it's in this level, it's kind of used as a timer. So you've got a certain time limit to do something before the tide comes in. Tunnel collapsing. We've been discussing that actually, in a sense of if you dig out too much underground earth, we'd like to punish the player so they don't just dig out the whole underground. Right. So the next thing. Right. Let me have a look at the. When the whole radius is only set to 50 here. It's set to 50 up there as well. Wonder why it works on one but not on the other. I'm going to drop them both to 40. It's quite a tight radius, really. Right, now their trail state should get to 2 when they do go underground here, and they're going to end up here in this place, and this is quite important. So this is, they need to target the enemy queen and move towards it. If the enemy queen's alive, so there needs to be, if the queen is alive in the area I'm in, move towards the enemy queen. If the queen's dead, move towards the surface. So there needs to be a branch off here into 2 sequences. So this shouldn't be a sequence, it should be a selector. So the question is queen in current underground alive? Yeah, something like that. Is queen in current underground alive? So I'll duplicate this. So that's the question it's asking, and it's got 2 separate behaviors based on that. This game has stuff like humans walking past steps and dropping food. No, we're not currently looking into humans. I think I'd like to do stuff like holiday events. So like if we had like a map at Christmas, maybe a special Christmas map where humans like drop bits of food, like Christmas food from a dinner table or something. But it's just kind of, they're like long-term ideas. But no, not in the core gameplay. It was never wasn't planned. But it's definitely worth thinking about. Right, yeah, I need to edit this. Okay. Let's get rid of that one as well. Okay. So I'll perform condition check AI. Don't need to do that. Okay, so here we get the trail call. Don't need to get the trail call to arms. I need to get the game state actually. We'll have a pure cast. So game state's always EO2 game state. So we get the creature. Actually, it doesn't need to be a colony creature in this case. So there we go. Doesn't need the trail call to arms. We just need its current colony location, I think. Get colony location. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is the current area that it's in. It's -1 for the surface, or the colony ID of where you're standing. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get queen by player ID. So using that colony location, we get the queen. That can be a pure cast. I think this can be a pure cast. Okay, so we get the queen. What I first want to check is, so is there a queen? Well, yeah, if it's valid. If not, it just fails. Next, we want to check a value on the queen, a value on all creatures in the game, which is in play. Oh. No, it's not a formula Raptor Queen. I just cast it to creature, actually. Again, that can be a pure cast, thinking about it. So there we are. So there we are. Is the queen in play? Is that the final question? You pestering people, you know. I'll have to look into Ant Wars. I'd like to see what other ant-based games are out there. There's a couple. There's Queen Ant and there's oh, what's the other one? There's one I played on my phone recently, which was actually quite good. I mean, they're all very different style games to R1. Finally, ants. So if the queen's in play, it's a yes. If the queen's not in play, it's a no. Okay, so this is queen in current UG alive? Sequence. Okay. So actually, we need to do a check for this as well before going to the underground. Because if the queen's not alive, we never want to be in there underground. Not at the moment, at least. But for now, let's just add it into here. So if the queen is alive, that'll be a good starting point for this one, actually. Target, current, location, target. No, it should be target near colony location queen, because this is going to be a location target. It's not going to be an actual target. Ants Canada, yeah. I love Ants Canada. Yeah, I lose huge chunks of time to going to Ants Canada's videos. I haven't actually watched the most recent one. What was the most recent one he did? He started an Ant War or something, and I haven't watched that one yet. I do need to watch it. Target near column. Right, so no, not colony ID, it's colony location. That can go away, that can go away. Okay. Don't need any of that. Okay, so I'm getting the location of the enemy queen. I need to get, so no, nav mesh. Get random point in navigatable radius. I think 300. Yeah. The larger creatures need a more complicated navigation system. I'm sure that'll become obvious soon. Okay, so it's set in its current target location. There we are. Is there any situation where this will fail? Guess if the queen's dead. But we checked that before anyway. So this will be target near colony location queen. There we are. Then we move to location target. Ooh. This is, I mean, it's not old code, but it's unnecessary. Current target location, yeah. Yeah, see, what I've done here. I know, maybe that is right. So one location and another location. Well, before it works, I shouldn't be trying to fix it if it's not broken. Move to current location target. I think that's that. Yeah, it just needs to move towards the queen because its attack systems will deal with fighting it. Now, else, we want to target. So let's see, target near my overground exit. Target near my overground exit. I'm assuming that just uses its colony ID. Yeah. Will there be a mini game where you have an ant colony in the game? Like feed them and stuff. We've actually got stuff planned along those lines. I don't want to give away too much at the moment, but we do actually have something planned along those lines. Yeah, if enemy ants block the way, they'll attack anything they see on the way. So if there happens to be enemy ants on the way, they'll start attacking those. Because the way the ants work, they attack anything near them and pick up food near them. Target underground exit. So, okay, this one's what we're after. Because that's just using the colony location rather than... So we just target underground exit. That's actually targeting the exit, though. Don't actually need to do that. I've got so much stuff open now. Let's close some of this stuff. So that's target near my overground exit. There needs to be target near UG exit, really. Target UG exit. That's target near my overground exit. So not on surface. And trail state's equal to 1. Notice in demo, if food is filled, ants will pick up and wait and do nothing. Yeah, that's been fixed already. what happens now? I mean, we haven't released a build with it fixed in, and we're hopefully going to be releasing that very soon. But what happens now is, if a worker's carrying food, it will carry it back. If a soldier's carrying food and it spots an enemy, it'll drop the food and fight the enemy. And then if all food stores are full, all the ants just drop the food where they are. You just drop it. So yeah, it's been fixed. Right, so let's duplicate this. That's overground, damn it. It's target near. It's target near my UG exit. Yeah, that's the one. Duplicate. Damn it, didn't mean to duplicate like that. There we go. Target near UG exit. Hello! Good to have you here. Naggy Abe 99. Yeah, it was a bug with that build, but it's been fixed, so it's okay. So yeah, in this one, target near, yeah. It shouldn't be called wander radius. Call it exit radius. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. I'm getting there with this. I actually think 150 is probably fine. Target near my overground exit. Target near my overground exit. Target near my underground exit. Target near my underground exit. Oh right, that's fine. That one's fine. I don't want it. Oh. Yeah, I see. I see why that's being used. That's when they're waiting to go to the surface. Right. Moving on. Target. No, sorry. Target near. Okay. Radius of. 150 again. Right. So that's heading toward. So that's targeting it. Then we need this again. So move to location target. Then actually transfer to surface. And I need to change the trail state. Trail state needs to be back to 1, I think. Okay. So that we got it heading towards the queen. If the queen's dead, they should head back out. Theoretically. I mean, we should win this one pretty quickly. Okay, so I've got cheats on, so I can just... Boom! Okay, it'll take them a while to get there. But here's what the enemy colony currently looks like. So let's see if this works. We'll be making funny, stupid stuff like making ants dance or something like that. I don't know. It depends if we got time. Incoming! So what we're expecting to see is to see the ants kill the enemy queen. And then leave. That should theoretically be what happens. Unfortunately, when they leave, they'll then keep coming back in. Because we haven't built that in yet. Yeah, we need these ants to go deeper in. We need them if they're targeting a queen. What's the queen's health? Oh, it's going down. Now, please leave. Yes. Yeah, now they'll just keep coming back in and going out again. Okay, well that went incredibly well. Right, so the one thing left to do here, and then after I've done this, I'll call it done for the day. Well, I'll leave it for the day. The one thing left to do here is to have ants not go underground if the queen is dead. Yeah, you're probably right there. What they should probably do is raid the food stores. But it's not something for me to think about at the moment. For now, until I've discussed it with the others. Let's just have them leave for now. But yeah, it might be a good idea to have them just check their food stores for food. Yeah. We'll see. Like a reward for killing a player. You get to take their spoils. But either way, for now, I need to stop them going underground if the queen's dead. So where does that come into this behaviour tree? So it's here, I guess. Steal the lava. We need slave maker ants for that. Okay, so there needs to be a way of checking if the... So it'll be similar to this. So this will be... Is queen in C2A target alive? Very similar, only it's using the ant's call to arms flag, not Actually, it's sad to see that there's only like 6 people here. Should have way more. By the way, I love this game. To be fair, more people tend to see these streams afterwards when we upload them to YouTube. To be honest, a lot of the stream is pretty mundane. It's me just either trying to figure out a bug or something like this. This is actually quite exciting because this is all visual stuff. But no, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you like the game. We're looking forward to showing you more. Okay, so the... Okay, so we need to check the call to arms target. So we're actually casting to a colony creature here. Actually, we could probably do it as a pure cast. Yeah, it's always going to be a colony creature. Okay, so colony creature. We don't want to get the queen of your colony location anymore. We want to get the queen. So get trail call to arms. Get trail call to arms. Get linked actor. Cast to what is it? It's a cast to a surface tunnel exit. Okay, I'm gonna need more space. Back we go. And then we want the surface tunnel exits colony ID. Okay, so this is the colony ID of the target. If that cast fails, we'll just say no. Okay. So, what's this called? Is queen call to arms target? So on here, transfer, yeah, so we need to add this to here. Is queen... So if the queen in the current call to arms target's alive, it does that. Else, we actually want it to do what it does here, I think. No, it's trial state 1, so we actually want it to do this. So we check for nearby enemies, target near trail location, move to trail target, register arrival, change state to 2. Okay, but we want this to happen if trail state's equal to 1 and is call to arms linked to surface exit. For a call to arms to be linked to a surface exit, but the queen to not be alive. Okay, so now theoretically they should attack the queen and then come out and then hang around on the surface. So yeah, I've got my cheats on. So I'm OP. Let's okay. So we're attacking the enemy now. I'm gonna... Oh, that didn't help. I'm gonna speed this up. By sneakily putting the queen... Oh, damn it. Sneakily put the queen on 1 health. There we are. Okay. So we should have a flood of ants coming in any second. There they are. Okay, queen's dead. Out they go. Ah. This is not good. Yeah, that looks like a full-on crash. Yep. Crash time. So this is on get tile grid by player ID. My guess is that I've passed in an ID that doesn't exist. It'll have come from one of the blueprint calls. I was trying to think where it could come from. Either way, we'll have a... We'll have a look to see where that might have come from. Can you make a new AI queen from your nest and put it in the spot of the old dead one? Make it alive. Okay. Take over the nest. I think that's... They're cool ideas. Maybe one day we'll explore them, but for the moment we've just got to get the build working where you can destroy another colony. It's quite a cool idea. Be able to start another location. For the moment, yeah. We've tried to keep it. We've tried to make the code as easy as possible to implement multiplayer if we ever wanted to. But multiplayer is a big task, so we're not kidding ourselves with it. We'll look into it, depending on the success of the game. If the game does really well, obviously it will make total sense for us to spend more time developing. But we're focusing on single player to start with. Okay. Right, so I've got the crash here. I don't think this is going to tell me anything particularly useful. It happened when the Queen died. So it happened in the situation that we were just coding for. So it's likely to be somewhere in there that it comes from. It's get tile grid by player ID. Fortunately, maybe it will. Okay, so we got blueprint task execute. Yeah, it's not really telling me anything useful, just telling me it happened in the behavior tree. Actor. Right, so I just need to. I guess I'm just gonna have to figure it out by exploring the behavior tree and working it out. Okay. So, what time is it? We've only got limited time here. Right, I'm gonna stop at 6. So that's 6 UK time, so that's in 15 minutes. So, let's see if I can fix this before I have to stop. What's that? Was it because you changed the health? I don't think so. I think it's more likely. Hang on. I think it's more likely. It's one of these calls I put in. So. Is Queen in current underground alive? So let's get Queen by player ID. So that's not the function call that did it. I suspect it's here actually, somewhere. So yeah, let's. Again, that's not the function that crashed it. The one that crashed it was get tile grid by player ID. So it's when the Queen was no longer alive. So I reckon it's somewhere in here, you know. Target near call to arms. Overground exit. Nope, not in there. Instant check for nearby enemies. No, that's not helping. Could it have been this one? Let's check. Yeah, this one could be quite tricky to solve. Well, it'd be dead easy to solve if I knew where it was coming from, but unfortunately, the crash report doesn't provide that information because because where it's coming from is in the blueprints. It's in here somewhere. Transfer to surface. Right. Okay, so transfer to surface does indeed have that in. And it passes in a colony location. So, if a transfer to underground didn't properly set your colony location, there's a chance that could be set to -1. So let's test that theory. If it's equal to -1, CL is -1, lots of exclamation marks. Else you can carry on doing what you want. Right. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for a successful bug hunt. Go crazy. Here come the ants. wonder why they're all coming out of that one. Why aren't they using any of the other holes? Need to look into that. So they're using the other ones there. Right. Let me fly over. There used to be a drummer song. The has to go like. I'm not going to change its health this time. Flee radius. Oh yeah, I remember what that is. Move over, guys. No, crashed again. You know what? It might not actually be. Anyway, I'm gonna solve this one off stream. I think I've got a better idea now of what it could be because the queen died there, and it was the very moment her death animation finished that caused it, and that's a bit of a clue. So yeah, I know it's slightly early, but I'm gonna call it for the evening. Thanks for joining me for a spot of development, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little bit more of the process. I'll try and be on next Thursday. I'm not gonna promise to be on because we're getting very close to EGX Rezzed, and that's kind of a serious deadline for us, is that we need these surface mechanics really working. So yeah, I'll try and be on next Thursday. Otherwise, thanks very much for joining me, guys. It's been great. I should probably not finish with the crash report on the screen. Okay, see you next time. Thank you very much.